Good evening, friends. Welcome back to my channel, Infinite Trade. My name is Robin, and let's do a Nifty and Bank Nifty analysis for tomorrow. So, since we are about to begin the coming week, as usual, we'll discuss some points based on weekly analysis for Nifty and Bank Nifty, and then also we'll discuss things about the trade plan for tomorrow. Okay, so because of the weekly discussion, the video will be a bit longer, but I'll try and wrap up as early as possible. So let's jump into the video. So this is the Nifty weekly time frame. It is still in the verge of forming a head and shoulder pattern. So how do we get a confirmation on this? Is once we close below this on a weekly time frame is when the head and shoulder pattern will be confirmed. Okay, so I think a close below 16,950, that to a close maybe in the coming Friday below 6950 will confirm the head and shoulder pattern. But I'll also let you all know how to identify that a bit prior. Okay, because there is a Friday is like we still have about 5 days, and there is a possibility that we may go down sharply. So since we should not miss that, I'll tell you how to identify that. Okay, so a head and shoulder pattern is still there in Nifty, which will be confirmed post breaking 16,950. But otherwise, I think the rest all analysis remains the same. We have a range something like this. Okay, so in case if we do not break this, then there is a possibility that we may halt here and then break on the upper side. So the middle point, we know that it is somewhere around 17,600. Okay, so rest all analysis remains the same in Nifty. Now let's quickly check out Bank Nifty too. So Bank Nifty is also exactly in the same point that we discussed last week. So there is a support at this place. Okay, so we took resistance here, we fell, then we took support, and now we are standing at the same point. So what is this particular point? This point is around 37,074. Okay, so keep this in mind, the figure 37,074. So once we break this is when we are going to see a significant fall. The first fall may come until this place, which is around 36,000. But this is based on a weekly time frame, and also we have formed a lower high kind of a pattern. Okay, so Nifty looks more bearish rather than Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty is trying to support the market and keep the Nifty trading on a flatter range or slightly higher. And we'll also discuss some long-term option chain analysis to see how the overall trend looks in Nifty and Bank Nifty, but we'll do that a little later while we discuss the intraday setup, because that would make easier to understand the difference between the current positions in the option chain and the longer term outlook. Okay, now let's move on to our regular analysis of intraday, that is for tomorrow. So first of all, I think let's discuss a couple of points, like in the cash market, FI has sold for 2529.96 crores, which is around 2,530 crores. So the selling is in a continuous mode and relentless selling, I would say. And another point which I always tell you all, and sometimes I even forget, like on which particular index FIs have created maximum position. So this time the max position is on Nifty. So Nifty is going to make some violent moves tomorrow is what we can understand. Now we'll jump into the participant wise open interest to see what is the action. Just a moment. This is my option chain giving some issues because it's a weekend. Sometimes we don't get the response from their server. Yeah, done. Okay, if you look at the option chain, FIIs are creating bullish positions. Okay, look at the futures, 5,788 future long, and they are closing their short positions. So first of all, imagine this is confidence while the global sentiment is jittery. Why jittery? Because of the Ukraine war. And let's see their other positions also. So on the call side, 64,000 call long and 76,000 call short. So the net figure is 11,866 call sell. Okay. So future long call sell, but less numbers. And then we have put sell, which is around 46,340. Significant. Okay. So overall, FI's positions in the derivative markets is bullish, and at the same time, even stock future is also bullish. So this is something which is contradictory. They are continuously selling in the cash market, but they are creating bullish positions in the index, or rather I would say derivatives. So why is it happening? One possible reason could be, since there is a Ukraine-Russia war that is going to happen or it will happen, we do not know. So there is an uncertainty which is prevailing. But whenever these kind of news kick in, what happens is most of the people like us, especially, we tend to become bearish. Okay. So whenever there is a huge issue in the issues in global market, then obviously automatically our mind tends to be bearish. But if we tend to be bearish, then obviously we'll not buy anything when the FIIs sell. So that is one of the possible reason. So this is something which I'm thinking on my own. Okay, so there is nothing written on any book that I read, or I'm telling you something like that. So this is my own thinking that, since our minds are turning into bearish and they do not want that to, that is one of the reasons why they are creating some bullish positions in the derivative segment, so that they can keep the market upside as much as possible, so that the people don't get into fear and they also start selling, because it is retailers and the DIIs who are still holding the market against the heavy selling that has been continuously done from the FIs. So since October, I think FIs have almost sold about more than 1.5 lakh crore, so which is a huge amount, and the entire money has been the sell that has come, it is completely managed by DII and retailers. And if you see, we are not very far from our all-time highs. So, and we must also not forget that, if you remember, I had told you earlier that FIs are building a very strong supply zone. So they still want the market to be in the supply zone so that they can continue to sell. So that is one of the reasons why, despite of having a strong selling in the cash market, they're still holding the indices by creating some bullish positions. So keep that in mind. So Right now, we are not supposed to enter significantly in the cash market. We will at least wait for a fall until 16,000. Okay, if the head and shoulder pattern is confirmed in Nifty. Otherwise, if there is a change in the pattern, I'll definitely let you all know. Okay, so right now I think we might or we must stop buying in the cash market, because if they change their mind and then we'll enter and they'll keep on selling their stuff to us. So that is not something, at least we traders, the family that we are, about 100 subscribers, so at least we'll not take part into it, since we know that what is their plan. Now let's look at pros position. So pros have closed a very little number of long positions, but they have closed a lot of short positions in the futures. And if you look at the call option, long is more and the shorts are less. So that is net buy is 59,600. And similarly, if you look at put, the long is more and the short is less. So pros are not bullish. They are expecting a volatile market further. So they have 43,000 put buy and 59,000 call buy. Okay. So we must keep this in mind. So even I'm expecting a volatile market further, despite of FIs being bullish. But the only thing is, all that we have to keep in mind is, at low we will not sell, and at high we will not buy. So this is something which we'll have to keep in mind. So what happens is, especially say this is a resistance and this is a support. So we see market going higher and higher, giving a breakout like this, and trying to stay above this. What we do is we tend to buy call options here, thinking that the market may move higher, and then the market may form some kind of a triple top pattern and it will start falling again. And then we'll buy a put here, and what will happen is market will suddenly take a U-turn. So if you have noticed this, this is what is happening for the past 2-3 days, and this may even continue further. Okay, because we do not have a clear direction because of the Ukraine war. So the only idea is to identify these points and buy a call option here and buy a put option here. This should be our plan. So this is all about the participant wise OI. So what is the take on participant wise OI? FIIs are bullish, and but since they also have call sell and put sell, they are not expecting significant up move. Okay, their future is not going to be in trouble, so avoid thinking that what will happen to the futures, but this is their position at the moment. And if we talk about pros are expecting a zigzag move and a volatile move based on their positions. Now we'll quickly check the option chain. Okay, so first is Bank Nifty option chain. So if you look at Bank Nifty's option chain, so somehow the COI, the change in open interest, it is on the bullish side. Okay, the put writing was significant than the call writing, but overall we have call writing at the highest. So right now they have straddles at 37,500 and a strong resistance at 38,000 and a strong support at 37,000. But if you look at these places, we do not see significant put writing here, nor we see significant call writing here. So they are yet to decide the positions. But looking at this, it clearly looks like a range bound market. So 37,500 straddle means they're expecting the market to be in a range, and these positions show that they are strangles. So Bank Nifty doesn't look bearish so far. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. So now we'll also look at Nifty. Sorry. Okay, so this is Nifty. So if you look at Nifty, Nifty is a little different. If you look at the change in OI, the call side writing is more so bearish, and overall we have call more, but put is also strong. Okay, it's not that weak. And if you look at the positions here, straddle at 17,300, and we have some strong resistance at 17,500, and there is a strong support at 17,000. But if you'll remember, at 17,000 I had told you that I think we discussed a couple of weeks before. So we saw strong open interest get building at 17,000 on the monthly option chain. So when there is a strong support in monthly option chain, what happens is, I told you that I will consider this as buying and not selling. So that means people are definitely waiting for this support to be tested, or there is a possibility we may break 17,000 also. So this is something which we'll have to keep in mind. Okay. So this is my view on the option chain. So Bank Nifty looks sideways with a bigger range. Nifty looks a little bearish for sure. Now I wanted to show you all the monthly option chain. So I'm taking March month option chain. So look at this. So huge selling, huge positions. So I consider this as buying. A lot of people may consider this as selling, but I'll show you, or I'll tell you what is the difference, and you will also, agree that it could be buying. Okay, 17,000, 16,500, and 16,000. So huge addition of open interest here. So I consider this buying because you already know the logic that far expiry is always used to buy options for hedging, and we sell the near expiries. Just in case if you think that it is not buying and it is selling, so I'll tell you what happens in a selling. In a selling, you will not see significant open interest being created on a very lower level. So this is 16,500 and 16,000. So sellers on a higher time frame, or on a monthly option chain, or maybe on a 2 months or 3 months option chain, what sellers usually do is they are confident and they'll not think below 17,000 because they want to create a strong support at 17,000 and they expect the market to trade above 17,000. So big players, they always sell a call or put at the money or in the money. They do not go far OTM like us. But as of now, see, spot is somewhere around 17,300, and we could see huge open interest at 16,500 and 16,000. So that means they are fearful and they think that the market may test these levels. That is the reason we can see buying here. Or if you think that it is selling, then think that they are not bullish enough to sell things here and they are selling far OTMs. So again, both things tells us that Nifty looks bearish. Now I'll show you Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty is different from Nifty. Bank Nifty 31st March. See, look at Bank Nifty. We don't see a good buying over here. Okay, we can see that the highest open interest is at 38,000. So that means again we'll consider this to be call buy. So Bank Nifty, somehow people are bullish, but it definitely doesn't look bearish like Nifty. So I hope you understood the difference between the current option chain and the 4-month contract option chain. Now we'll discuss the chart and complete this video. I'm putting this on to 15 minutes time frame, candlestick pattern, and let me just activate the lines. So this is Bank Nifty so far. So Bank Nifty is definitely, trying to make lower highs. So this is the pattern, and right now we are taking a trend line support here. So tomorrow if we break this trend line with a flat opening, so I think less chance of flat opening because SGX Nifty is already down by I think 100 points. So let's see how we open tomorrow. But just in case, if we open flat and if we break this trend line, so I think a close below this level. So let me see what is that particular level. It is 37,500. So Bank Nifty, once it breaks 37,500, will buy put option. Our immediate target is going to be 37,200. Okay, so there is a line at 37,189, and then we may test these lows which we created last week when I told you that these lows will be the low for the current week, and that was never tested again. But there is a possibility we may test those lows again, so which is at 36,700. Okay, so this is my first target, and the second target is 36,700. But I think it is better to book here looking at the FIS position. But this is in case of flat opening. Now, chances of gap up is very less. So in case we open gap up, say, so right now the close is about 37,600, and in case we open it with a gap up at 37,800, we will wait for a dip. Okay, and once this dip is over, and if we cross day high, maybe before 10:30 or after 12:30, then we'll buy a call option here, and we can expect a move until 38,000 or even 38,200. Okay, and what if we gap down based on the SGX Nifty that we can see right now? So in case Bank Nifty, say it gaps down at 37,400, see the FIs have long positions, so the best thing would be if it gaps down and it gives a further dip. Okay, dip at 37,200, and then if it forms any double bottom kind of a pattern, is when I'll look for an entry in the call side, and maybe then we can expect an up move until the gap, that is around 37,500 to 600. Okay, but in case if we open gap down and then we move or immediately fill the gap, and then we start coming down, and if we close below 37,500, the analysis remains the same. We'll buy a put option here, and the target would be the same. So I hope you understood the strategy on Bank Nifty. In case you missed out, then do watch this clip again. Now let's look at Nifty. So Nifty, what it is doing is it is just consolidating, and the range is becoming tighter. Okay, so it is like this. So there is a trend line going on here, and we are constantly taking support here. So it is like a descending triangle. So tomorrow if we open gap down and immediately we come up, and there is a possibility we may further consolidate. And then if we break down again, we are going to buy a put option. We'll only buy a call option once we see a breakout of this particular trend line. So you can mark this particular trend line I'll also do that right now. So it starts from here and it goes like this. Okay, you can extend this line up to this level. Okay, so in case if you open flat and if you're breaking this, so 17,234, we'll still take some buffer. We'll say if it breaks 17,210, we'll take a put entry, and our first target is going to be 17,080. Okay, so this particular support is untested and this may act as a good support. At least we can see some sort of bounce until this place, and again if we come back down, then definitely another put entry is for sure, and this time we may break this level and then test 16,950 once again. Okay, a close below 16,950 in the coming week will let us know if it is trying to form the head and shoulder pattern. So I told you that just so that we don't miss that, for that Nifty has to break 16,850. Okay, so consider 16,800 to 850. In case Nifty closes below these levels, then we may see a sharp fall until 16,400 without any break. Okay, so this will confirm that the head and shoulder pattern is confirmed. So keep this in mind. So tomorrow, in case if we open flat and if we break this level, we'll take a put trade, but we'll exit at 17,080, and then we'll see in case if it is forming higher high and crossing this range, or is it taking a U-turn again. Okay, and what if a gap down? So gap down, I think we'll do the similar thing. So in case if we gap down around 17,200, and if we give a dip at 17,080, the first time here we'll buy a call option and we'll wait for a target of 17,250 and we'll book it. And in case if we open gap down and we immediately fill this gap and again try to spend time here, and again if we break 17,210 is when we're going to buy a put option. This will be our target. So any gap up opening, if the gap up is around this trend line, we'll wait for it to go for a dip, and then again if it is breaking the trend line is when we'll buy a call option. Then we can see some significant move. Our first target would be 17,500. So this is my way for Nifty and Bank Nifty tomorrow. I hope you all understood it. We read the data. The data for Nifty definitely looks bearish even on the longer time frame. So let's see how it works. So in case if we get that kind of a dip, obviously around 16,000 or something, 16,000, 16,200, we can start investing maybe in Nifty Vs or something like that, which is a better option rather than searching out for Nifty 50 stocks. But so far, definitely FIs are creating confusions in our mind, so that we as retailers, we are always there for buying their stocks that they're selling. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope you all understood the point, and please do subscribe and share my videos to others, and we'll meet in another video tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye bye.